Hello and welcome to episode 31 of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the Third. I'm Project Aurora. As always, you can also catch me streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Project Aurora, where I don't focus on as story-heavy games. You'll recall that in episode 30, after defeating, or actually, I'm sorry, even episode 29, where we defeated the 3 members of Ouroboros, in episode 30 we went on to fight the final member of Ouroboros that we know of thus far, Lo, or Leonhart the Blade Lord, in the Farewell Arena. It was a very emotional moment for Joshua and Estelle. For those of you that may not be familiar with the Bat game, Lo was kind of like Joshua's childhood sort of like best friend, and he was dating Joshua's older sister, and then they sort of joined Ouroboros together and everything like that. You'd have to sort of see the other games. Anyways, after clearing the final trial and saying our goodbyes to Lo, the final area in the Airbase Scenic route opened up, which was blocked by mist, and when we tried to walk through it, we couldn't go through it. And Kevin deduced that we may need Reese for this as well. So now that we have Reese in the party, it's going to be time to go ahead and jump into the game, where we'll see. You'll notice that I made some party changes. I decided I wanted to bring Agat along and got rid of both Estelle and Joshua, but Rin, the very disturbed 11-year-old, is very much still here. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at, or not take a look, but we're gonna go ahead and warp to the 6th plane. Obviously Agat, and let's see, Agat and Reese are a bit under-leveled here. So we're gonna, well, 118 versus 112. Yeah, a bit underleveled, yeah, but we can fix that issue with the quick bashing of this thing here and casting several spells on it. So I think we'll just go with Abyss Fall. Let's see here. Also with Abyss Fall, he's not gonna be able to do any real damage as far as casting, and I want to see what this spell looks like. Devastation Blast sounds sick. I may have made a mistake. Because this Devastation Blast, apparently even with a apparently even with Death Slash, that sounds ominous. Preemptive attack here. Damage seems kind of lackluster. I guess I'm just gonna hit with Soul Blur anyway, even though it's not gonna do any real damage. I really wanted to see what that spell looked like. Oh well. Arc Fencer 2, Agat Learn Flame Smash 3. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna farm that enemy a couple of times. Go ahead and do that. I really wanted to see what that spell did. Maybe I didn't get a preemptive attack last time, so we're gonna see. Flame Smash. Okay, I'm not doing that move again. That was way too far apart. Alright, we'll just Death Scream this. And Devastation Blast. Oh my goodness, that move is... We're just gonna... I guess it must take a really long time to cast. It must be like some really OP ability or something. So we're just gonna... We're gonna let her cast it, because I want to see it. I must see the ability. And then we'll just do an Abyss Fall to make sure that, for good measure, that they're dead. And we'll back up here. Move again. Sorry. Okay, that was a cool looking spell. Dragon Beams. Alright, so also that begs the question, you know, with this range one, I like the range or whatever, but I think that I'm gonna sacrifice Devastation Blast for some more speed on Rin because I hate how slow she casts. And I don't think that I need the arts range anyway. So action 4, let me see if what that changes. We still have access to silver. Oh, hell nah. Lost Dark Mobius EX. So let's see here. Just give her Septium Vein back. I think that's what she had there before. Yep. Yeah. Much better. Devastation Blast was cool and all, but ooh, I did not mean to do that. Running away. Now we're gonna get a preemptive attack. I think that should put us in at least a decent enough position to survive the upcoming fights. So 519. That was a better hit. There we go. Now we're swinging for some damage. Let's do this. And this should do it. Fish-fillet, long barrel 3. Didn't even know that could drop off of those. Alright, that should be good enough for me. I think I'm okay with that. For now. The rest of the level should come along naturally. Matter of fact, there should be a Shining Palm. These guys spawned a Shining Palm, if I remember correctly. Which used to drop a lot of Sevith, as well as, bingo. There's my Shining Palm. So we're gonna just go ahead and cast Dark Matter on that. Dark Matter EX here as well. Maybe a little bit of a Death Scream. And a little bit more Death Scream. Hopefully should be enough to kill that Shining Palm. Wow, this this little guy be living, huh? He is definitely gonna flee. Is there any way that I can boost somebody's turn or something? Oh, wait, you know what? Maybe. Well, actually, you know what? Surely this is enough. And if that isn't, then surely this is enough. Okay. It's not meant to die. I don't. Before you used to be able to just like cast, like, you know, hit it with a bunch of spells and like, you know, S-crafts or whatever, and it would just topple over. It has 1.5k HP, like, bro. But it is clearly not meant to die. So, ooh, more experience. Don't mind if I do. Shadow Sphere. Silverthorn, why not? Alright, and now with a guy at level 120, I think we've got, you know, he's at least enough. He should be good enough to survive. Might need a better weapon on him though. Anyways, here we go. Where? I knew it. Oh.
どうやら別の場所に来ちゃったみたいね。
It's like we've ended up somewhere different entirely. Oh, you're right. Wait, isn't that the church's emblem?
ケビン。
Kevin?
ここはシオンの家。
Welcome to Aster House.
俺とリース、そしてルフィナ姉さんが一緒に暮らしてきた場所ですわ。
The place where Reese, Rufina, and I grew up together. Oh. The Legend of Heroes. Chapter 6 is done. Here we go. Cleared the Guardian's trials. Let's save the game. And go ahead and jump into it. Chapter 7, The Distant Flames. This is only a copy of Aster House, yes?
これが再現されただけの偽物。
But it looks so...
まさに本物としか思えへんな。
Yeah, I can barely bring myself to accept it's not the real thing.
なんちゅうか、空気の匂いまで同じって感じや。
Everything from the feel of the earth underfoot to the smells in the air are just like the real thing. Yeah.
シオンの家。
So this is where the two of you grew up, huh?
どうやら七曜教会に関係する建物みてえだな。
I'm guessing this is some kind of place owned by the Septian Church, right?
ええ、教会が運営する福音施設。
That's right, it's what's called a gospel facility.
ま、修道院に近い孤児院みたいなもんでさ。
Think of them as a cross between an orphanage and a monastery.
そうだったのか。
Right.
それじゃあ、
So that
も
means
しかしてお前は
you're...
ね、孤児っちゅうやつですわ。
Well, no reason to dance around it, so... Yep, I'm an orphan.
ま、いろいろあってここに世話になったんですけど。
And how I came to be here is a story best saved for another day.
それにしても、ここに帰ってくるんはちょうど5年ぶりくらいかな。
Feels weird being back here again, though. It's been about 5 years.
ケビン。
5 very long years.
いずれにせよ、第7清掃への手がかりはここにあるはずや。
Well, anyway, we're bound to find some kind of clue as to how to get to the 7th plane somewhere in here.
まずは敷地の中を一通り調べてみることにしよう。
You guys up for having a look around the area with me?
そうだね。
Yeah, let's go. Alright. Plenty of places to sort of wander around. I don't think I saw any treasure chests in like the sort of opening cinematic. But you never know. Around. Take a look-see. Have a gander, if you will. Alright. Well, looks like these all lead to the same building, so I guess I'll go through here with this one first.
ここは
This room's big.
シオンの家の居間。食事などに使われていた場所です。
This is the living room where we used to have all of our meals. We used to have all our meals. Oops.
テレサ先生のとこみたいにあったかい場所やなかったけど。
Just don't make the mistake of thinking it was a warm place like Mercia Orphanage.
ここの院長、めちゃめちゃ厳しい頭の固いばあちゃんのシスターでな。
The matron here was a stubborn old sister who was strict as could be.
毎食お祈りばっかさせて、言いつけ破ると小言と折檻やったで。
Every mealtime we had to pray so much that our stomachs had given up on getting fed by the end of it, and we got yelled at for the tiniest thing.
教会の孤児院なんざ、そのくらい厳しいのが当たり前かもしれねえな。
Sounds like about what you'd expect from a church-run orphanage, though, I suppose. Ren seems bothered.
ケビンは自業自得。
You deserved it all, in my opinion.
言いつけを破ってばかりで 先生には苦労ばかりかけていた。
You never did as you were told and caused her nothing but grief.
ま、確かにそれは認めるわ。
Okay, I'll admit that's probably accurate, but still. Well, I guess Ren does have some very severe childhood trauma, so.
ここは厨房。年長組が料理をしてた場所や。
As you can probably guess, this right here is the kitchen. This is where the older children at the facility did the
リー
cooking.
スがよくつまみ食いに忍び込んでた場所でもあるな。
It was also Reese's favorite place to sneak into whenever she had a hankering for some food.
ケビン。
お姉さんかわいいわね。
How cute.
妙に親近感を覚えるな。
Maybe you're more like me than I thought.
俺もよくつまみ食いしてミーシャに怒られたもんだ。
I used to do the same kind of thing when I was a kid. Got yelled at by Misha a lot for it.
もう皆さんまで。
Please don't take everything he says at face value.
ま、それはそれとして。
Well,
ここ
anyway.
はルフィナ姉さんの縄張りでもあったかな。
This was always Rufina's turf back when she was still here.
俺とリース、他のチビどもにあったかい飯を作ってくれて。
She was always out here around mealtime making food for me, Reese, and the other
姉さんが騎
kids.
士になってからは俺とリースが引き継いだんやったか。
After she left, Reese and I took over her position.
懐かしいね。
That brings back memories.
ケビンが勝手に出て行ってからは私一人でやってたけど。
Of course, then you left too, leaving me to handle it all alone.
思い出したらなんだか腹が立ってきた。
The mere thought aggravates me.
今すぐここで何か作ってご馳走してほしい気分。
In fact, I think you should whip up something right now to make up for your selfishness.
わかったわかった。
Yes, ma'am.
機会があったら腕によりをかけて作ったるわ。
I'll make you something later.
ケビンの約束ほど当てにならないものはない。
The only thing less reliable than a promise with lather attached to the end is one said by you.
あんまり期待はしないで待ってることにする。
I'm not going to get my hopes up, damn.
へえ、かなわんな。
Man, no faith in me, huh?
やれやれ。
Oh boy. Huh. Still no treasure chest. Up here.
院長先生の部屋。
This was the matron's room. No one's here now, though.
あ
Yeah.
あ、そうやリース。
By the way, Reese,
その後、院長先生は
how is the matron these days?
あの時の怪我はもう大丈夫。
She's fine. Her injuries weren't lasting.
でも引退してからはやっぱり元気がなくって。
She hasn't had the energy she used to ever since retiring, unfortunately.
ケビンにすごく会いたがってたよ。
She really wanted to see you again, Kevin.
そっか。
She did, huh?
ここは子供部屋。
This here's the
チビた
kid's
ちが寝てた
bedroom.
場所や。俺も引き取られた直後はここに寝かされてたっけな。
I slept here back when I was first taken in before graduating to the boys' bedroom.
でもケビン他の子に全然懐かなくて。
You never really did mix well with the other children.
姉様なんとか馴染ませようとすごく苦労してたよ。
Rufina had such a hard time trying to get you to make friends with them. It was a real ordeal for her, you know?
そうやったな。
Yeah, I know.
ほんま。あの頃の俺はハリネズミみたいで可愛くないクソガキやった。
I was like a little hedgehog who didn't want to let anyone get near back then. I feel sorry for everyone who had to put up with me.
お前が平気で近寄ってきたのが不思議なくらいやったで。
I'm still amazed you even bothered trying to be friendly.
トゲトゲしてるのは強がりだって分かったもの。
Well, I knew you were only playing tough.
最初姉様がチョコレートを食べさせた時なんて。
Like that time with Rufina and the chocolate.
ストップ。その先は禁則事項や。
Stop, we're not hearing that story here.
何があったのかしら。
Now I'm really curious.
こっちは女子の部屋やな。
This here's the girls' bedroom.
ルフィナ姉さんがずっと寝起きしてた場所か。
The place where Rufina spent her nights. Same for you. Same for you eventually too, Reese.
私は時々姉様と一緒に寝てたかな。
I even used to sleep with her from time to time.
姉様のベッド あったかくてとってもいい匂いがして。
Her bed was always cozy and smelled really nice. It was much nicer than sleeping in my own.
姉様がここを出てからは私が使わせてもらってたし。
After she left here, her bed became mine.
羨ましい？
I bet you were jealous.
せやな。
You bet.
あの頃は確かにちょいと羨ましかったわ。
I was at the time, I'll admit.
なんだ。もっと焦ると思ったのに。
Oh, I thought you'd be a bit more flustered than that.
素直すぎてつまらない。
I shouldn't have bothered saying anything.
あのな。
Give me a break.
ここは男子の部屋。俺も10歳くらいからはこっちに移ってたな。
This is the boys' bedroom, where I slept until I was about 10 years old.
原則的に男子と女子はお互い立ち入り禁止やったけど。
Technically, the boys and girls weren't supposed to enter one another's bedrooms.
お前、平気で入ってきたよな。
I never stopped Reese here from doing it all the time, though.
あれはケビンのせい。
What he neglects to mention is that it was his fault I did so.
掃除当番の朝も平気で寝坊してるから。
What else was I supposed to do when he slept in every morning he was on cleaning duty?
そんな、扉叩いて声をかければ済むことやんか。
Well, you could have just knocked on the door until I got up.
それだと他の子まで起こしてしまうもの。
But then I disturbed the other boys who were sleeping, which would have been unfair. They weren't the ones shirking their duties.
やっぱりケビンのせいだと思う。
It was 100% your fault.
へいへい。
Fine, fine, whatever you say. Oops. Door. Oh wait, no, we went through that door. Okay, go through here. The door is stuck fast and doesn't have a keyhole.
どうなってるんだ？
How does this door open?
この扉は通用口で、内鍵しかついていないんです。
This is a side entrance that only opens from the inside. We can't get in from the
礼
outside.
拝堂に入るんやったら、正面の扉からしかなさそうや。
Yeah, if we want to get into the chapel, we're gonna have to go through the front. Oh, yeah. The door is locked.
やっぱりな。
Figures.
鍵かかってるみたいだね。
Is it locked?
な。
Yeah.
まあいい。他も調べてみよ
Well, whatever. We can keep poking around. I thought I went through everywhere, other place. Did I not? What else is there to poke around at? Uh oh. There's an empty well.
う。ここは飲み水を汲んでた井戸やな。
We used to get our drinking water out of here.
今時動力ポンプもなくて、縄付きの桶で汲んでたからめっちゃ大変やったで。
We had no fancy orbital pumps either. We did it all using a good old-fashioned bucket with a string attached. It was a nightmare.
うん。あれはすごく大変だった。
Tell me about
冬
it.
の朝は手がかじかんで真っ赤になったし。
We would go out on winter mornings and come back with our hands numb and red raw.
でも今にして思うと結構楽しかったかも。
But looking back on the whole experience now, it was fun in its own way.
確かに。
I guess it was. Door's still locked. What else do you want me to look at? What else are we looking at through our trip down memory lane? Oh? Huh. I mean, maybe there's something. Oh, no. That would take me back out. That's too far over. Oh, wait, no, it wouldn't. Yeah, no. Fireplace. That was to the outside, right? Maybe there's like a key or something somewhere that I missed. Exclamation points. I'm sure I'm overlooking something obvious. I went through here. Yep. No, we've been everywhere over here. Weird. Oh.
何もなかったね。
There was no sign of anything in there.
あるとしたらやっぱり礼拝堂。
Our last hope seems to be the chapel. So it seems.
ケビン、
What is it, Kevin?
なあ、リス。
Hey, Reese.
あの日、礼拝堂の当番はお前だったそうやな。
You were the one responsible for cleaning the chapel that day, right? What day?
このシオンの家、最後の日。
On Aster House's final day. That sounds ominous.
ルフィナ姉さんが死んだ。
When Rufina died.
ふーん
Oh,
なんだと。
what?
俺あの事件の後、院長先生を見舞った時にそう聞いたんやけど。
That was what I was told when I went to visit the matron afterward, at least.
どうやあったの
Well,
か
were you?
うん、
Yeah,
その通りだけど。
I was. Why?
そっか。
I thought so.
ならリス、懐かポケットを調べてみろや。
Check your pockets, Reese.
礼拝堂の鍵、入ってるはずやで。
I'm pretty sure the chapel key's in one of them. Huh? Reese began checking the pockets of her habit. Eventually, she found an old brass key. It can't be.
たまげたな。
Wow, there's a twist I didn't see coming.
ふーんなるほどね。
That makes sense.
想念が現実になる世界。その法則が働いたわけね。
This is just another manifestation of the world's ability to make thoughts into reality.
ま、俺もさすがに自信はなかったけど、
Honestly, I wasn't entirely sure you'd find it in there.
今までの領域はすべて必然のあるものが選ばれてた。
But in all the other areas on this plane, there was always a reason to take the person we needed with
その
us.
意味ではリス、お前がここに来るのもやっぱり必然だったわ
This
けや
just
な。
goes to show that you really were meant to come here, Reese.
そんな。
But,
でも
but,
まだ信じられないけど、これは確かに礼拝堂の鍵。
no. As disbelieving as I am, this is definitely the chapel's key.
とにかく使って中に入ってみましょう。
Suppose all we can do right now is try to go inside. Yeah. The door is locked.
リス、一つ言っておく。
Before we go in here, Reese, there's something I should warn you about.
その扉を開いたら、もう後戻りはできへんぞ。
Once we step through that door, there'll be no going back.
あの日起こった真実をお前は全て知ることになる。
You're going to find out the truth about what happened that day. All of it. And you won't like it.
その覚悟はあるか？
Are you sure you're ready for what you're about to find?
望むところ。
I'm more than ready.
この5年、私はずっと納得いかなかった。
All these years, I've never quite been able to accept what happened
あの
here.
後、私を含めたみんなは他の施設に引き取られて、
The life I thought I knew just suddenly came to an end, with us all getting moved to other places, and I still don't even know why.
重騎士の修行に入る前にここに行ってみたら、すでに取り壊されていて。
I even tried to come back here just before beginning my training to become a squire, but it had already been demolished.
だから、とっくに覚悟はできている。
I've been ready for a long time. I want to know the truth.
何よりも、姉様とケビンに近づきたいと思っているから。
And more than anything, I feel like knowing will let me get closer to you and Rufina. I'm gonna take a quick guess here of what I think is gonna happen. A couple guesses. And I'm probably wrong on all of them. Either Kevin had this place demolished. Actually, that's all my guesses. Never mind. Or no, wait, maybe the church was behind it. But why? Why would the church be behind it? I don't know. Let's go through the door.
そっか。
Okay,
わかった。とっとと中に入るか。
let's head on then. Right. I feel like Kevin feels responsible for Rufina's death somehow, but I don't know why. I don't think he would actually go as far as to kill her unless he absolutely had to.
ねえお兄さんたち。
Say,
レンたち、お外で待っていた方がいいのかしら。
would it be best if the rest of us stayed outside?
いや、できれば一緒に来てくれ。
No, actually, I'd prefer if you came in with me.
ある意味君たちにも関わりのある話やからな。
This is relevant to you guys too, in a sense.
5年前何者かに雇われた傭兵団がこのシオンの家を占拠した。
It all started 5 years ago. A Jaeger corps someone had hired took this place over out of nowhere.
なあリス、
By the way, how much do you remember of that day, Reese?
お前その時のことを。
Just so I know.
私は突然黒い男たちが門を破って入ってきて、
I just remember a group of men in black forcing their way through the gate and charging in here.
みんなを縛り上げて先生を2階に連れて行って、
They tied everyone up, took the matron up to the second floor,
それで
and then
気づいた時は町の病院のベッドやった。
next thing you knew, you were in a bed in the hospital in town, right?
そこで俺とルフィナ姉さんが助けに来たことと、
After which you found out that Rufina and I had come to rescue everyone,
そして姉さんが殉職したことを
and
聞か
that
さ
she
れ
had
た。
died in the process. Okay, yeah, so my initial thought process was all wrong. There was no major plot twist. Kevin wasn't responsible.
そんなところか。
That about right? Mm-hmm.
ねえケビン、あの事件は一体何だったの？
Just what happened, Kevin?
教会に敵対する何者かの仕業だって聞いたけど、
All I've heard is that this was the work of someone who opposed the church.
ケビンとはあれから一度も会えなかったし、
But I haven't had the chance to meet you since then, much less ask you about it.
セルナート教官に聞いても全然教えてくれなくて、
I tried asking Instructor Sone, but she wouldn't say a word.
ま、総長の立場になると
That doesn't surprise
さすが
me.
に簡単には話せ。まさかこの施設が封印指定されたアーティファクトの目くらましに使われてたなんてな。
The Grawl Ritter's commander can't admit this orphanage was being used as a smokescreen for an artifact that needed sealing away. It what?
ここや。
Here we go.
隠し扉が。
Secret passage.
待ってケビン、
Wait,
封印指定された古代遺物、
if there was an
ま
artifact
さか
here,
この下には。
you don't mean...
その通りや。
Yep.
この下にはグランセル大聖堂の地下にあったのと同じ場所。
Below here is the primal ground used to steal artifacts away.
古代遺物の封印に使われる始まりの地がある。
Just like the one under Grand Cell Cathedral.
あの日
I'm sure you remember.
覚えてるとは思うけど、俺とルフィナ姉さんは久々に帰省する予定やった。
The day it all happened, Rufina and I were due to come back here for the first time in a while.
それぞれ別の任務についてたから、一旦町で合流してから一緒に帰るつもりやったんや。
We were both coming from different places we'd been sent, so we wanted to meet up in town and come the rest of the way here together.
だけど姉さんの乗るはずやった列車が遅れて、
But then her train was delayed, leaving me in town to wait for her
俺
alone.
だけ先に到着したところでその知らせが飛び込んできた。
That was when I got word of what happened.
お前とチビたちが危ない。そう思った俺は単独行動で占拠していた両兵の総統を決行した。
All I could think that was you and the other kids were in danger, and so I decided to try and take out the Jaegers here alone.
正直レンドは大した連中やなかった。
They weren't all that experienced, so fighting them wasn't even hard for a squire like me.
重騎士程度の俺でも一通りの連中を無力化してチビたちと先生を解放できた。
Before long, I was able to disable them all and free the matron and the other kid.
だがそこにお前はおらへんかった。
Or so I thought. You were nowhere to be seen.
チビたちから両兵の一人が気絶したお前を運んでどこかに向かったと聞いて、
I asked the other kids where you were. They told me one of the Jaegers had taken you somewhere else and that you were unconscious.
手当たり次第に探した俺はなんとかこの場を探り当てた。
I looked frantically all over trying to find you before eventually stumbling across this place.
なあリス、
As for how,
お前気がついた時リボンをしてへんかったやろ。
you remember how you didn't have your ribbon in your hair when you woke up, Reese?
うん。
I do.
でもどうして？
What does that have to do with
お
anything?
前のリボンがな、あの隠し扉の前に落ちてたんや。
I found that ribbon in front of the secret passage we've just gone through.
まあ新しい足跡もあったからなんとか気づくことができたわ。
And there were new footprints near it too. Made it easy to find the entrance. Oh,
そしてお
anyway.
前を運んだ両兵を追って 俺はこの場所に降りていった。
After getting in here, I made my way down the staircase in pursuit of the Jaeger that had taken you.
なあ、リス。
Hey, Reese.
初めて会った時、俺がどんなだったか覚えてるか？
Do you remember what I was like back when you first met me?
うん。
Yeah?
私はまだ小さかったけど、不思議とあの時のことは覚えてる。
I was still young at the time, but it's as fresh as if it were only yesterday.
あの時のケビンは、すべてに絶望した目をしてて。
You looked like you'd been swallowed by blackness, like there wasn't a single thread of hope bound to you.
正直、ちょっとだけ怖かった。
It was
こ
scary.
の子は一体、何を見てきたんだろうって。
I kept wondering what must have happened to you, what you must have seen to make you end up that way.
何を見てきたか。
What must have happened to me, huh?
どうやら姉さんは知っとったみたいやけど。
Rufina seemed like she knew.
あの時な、俺、自分の母親を殺してる。
Holy shit. Before I met you, I killed my mom. What?
殺したってのはちょいと大げさすぎたかもな。
Maybe killed isn't the right expression. It's not like I directly did it.
見殺しにしたってのが正確かもしれん。
I still let her die though. I've still got a lot of responsibility for what happened.
もともとうちは母一人子一人の家庭やった。
Growing up, it was basically me and my mom for the most part.
親父もたまに顔を見せたけど、どうやら他にちゃんと家族のいるどこぞの金持ちだったみたいでな。
My father showed his face from time to time, but not that much. From what I understand, he had another family elsewhere.
でもそんなんは関係なしに、俺は母ちゃんのことが好きやった。
But even without him, she did her best to look after me on her own. I loved her dearly.
この言葉遣いを近所のガキどもにからかわれたこともあったけど、大抵ボコボコにしてやったしな。
Kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of me for how I talk, which I got from her, but I just beat them up most of the time. Hell
料
yeah.
理好きで温かくて自慢の母親だったんや。
She was always kind, she loved cooking, and yeah, I thought the world of her.
でも7歳の頃、母ちゃんは親父から捨てられた。
When I was 7, my father, who had all the money in the world, chose to abandon her.
もともと心の弱い人でな。みるみる元気がなくなって、体の調子も悪くして。
At the best of times, she was always a frail person, and after that, she grew more and more despondent. Her health suffered.
俺、いろいろ頑張ったんやけど、全然元気づけられへんかったわ。
I tried everything a kid could do to cheer her up, but nothing I did worked.
そして、ある冬の日やった。
And during one winter's day when she must have finally had
母
enough,
ちゃんが、寝てる俺の首を絞めてきたんは。
she came over while I was sleeping and tried to strangle me. God damn.
ごめんな。ごめんな。
I'm so sorry,
ケ
Kevin.
ビン。
I failed as your mother,
でもお母さん、
but I'm so tired.
もう
I'm
疲れ
so,
てしも
so
うたんや。
tired.
だから、
At least this way.
だからな、ケビン。
At least this
このまま。
way, the two of us can.
お母さんと一緒に。
ま、苦労させるくらいなら、
I guess she figured that if we were both going to suffer, we might as well take the easy way out as a family.
でも俺は、それには付き合えへんかった。
But I wouldn't let her take me with her.
夢中で母ちゃんを突き飛ばして、雪降る街に裸足で飛び出していった。
Before I knew what I was doing, I'd pushed her aside and ran barefoot out into the snow.
母ちゃんのしたことの意味もわからずに、ただただ混乱して、小1時間さまよった。
I wandered around for a while after that. I couldn't understand what had happened or what she'd been trying to do.
そして腹も減って、母ちゃんのことが気になって。
Eventually, I could feel myself getting hungry. I thought that maybe she'd been able to clear her head. Oh, man. I can already tell what's gonna happen next, I think.
恐る恐る家に戻ってきたら、
I made my way back home, nervous as could be, and... Yep, she killed herself. I
すまんな。
sorry for making you
しょ
listen
う
to
もない
all of
話
this.
を聞かせて。せやけど、多分その時なんやと思う。
Still, I think that's probably when it happened.
俺の中に聖痕が刻み込まれたんは。
When my stigma was carved inside me. What? Bruh. Some heavy stuff.
ここ
What a weird place.
こんな場所があるなんて。
Who would have thought a place like this existed under an orphanage?
ちょうどここで俺は気絶したお前を運んできた傭兵に追いついた。
This was where I finally caught up to the Jaeger who had you with him.
まさか邪魔が入るとは思ってへんかったんやろな。
He probably didn't think anyone was gonna come after him.
焦ったそいつはあっさりと銃を落としてそこの台座へと駆け寄った。
The second he saw me, he panicked, and putting his gun down, he ran over to this pedestal right in front of us.
そして台座にあったのはロアの魔装と呼ばれる封印指定された古代遺物やった。
On it was the artifact that required sealing away I mentioned earlier, the Spear of Loa. Is S-Craft?
ロアの魔装。
What's the Spear of Loa?
手にする者の肉体を化け物に変えてしまう槍。
A malignant spear that transforms the body of its wielder into that of a monster.
正直女神の秘跡のもとに作られたとは思えへん代物や。
It's hard to believe something like that could be a gift from the goddess, right? Oh, maybe he did end up killing Rafina, but only by mistake.
そして追い詰められた傭兵はその魔装を手にしてしまった。
Or not. In any case, the corner Jaeger grabbed it and used it.
圧倒的やった。
I didn't stand a chance.
肉体の構造ごと変化して異形の化け物になった傭兵の前に俺はすぐに叩きのめされた。
Much as I tried, I wasn't any match for the inhuman monster before me.
そしてその化け物が気絶したお前に魔装を振るおうとしたその時、
He knocked me to the ground and then went to raise the spear against the still unconscious you.
それは起こった。
That's all it took.
「俺の聖痕は両兵が持ってた魔装の力をその場で取り込んだらしい。
My stigma drew all of the spear's power from it into itself
そしてその力を数十倍に増幅した上で
and blasted it,
容赦なく両兵へと叩き込んでい
magnified
った。
countless times over into the Jaeger's body.
もはやそれは戦いではなく一方的な虐殺に過ぎへんかった。
The result wasn't even a battle. Our precious home became a slaughterhouse.
そして化け物になった両兵は何千もの肉片にちぎれて絶命した。
By the end, he wasn't even recognizable, just thousands of lumps of flesh strewn all over the floor.
そして俺は
After defeating him, my stigma's power was still coursing through my body.
初めて聖痕が現れた俺はその湧き上がる力に翻弄され完全に我を失ってしまった。
I had never experienced anything like that before. I lost complete control of myself. Oh
駆け
shit.
つけた姉さんはすぐに状況を理解したらしい。
At this point, Rufina arrived, and she seemed to understand exactly what had happened.
ボウガンと宝剣で牽制しながら俺をリースから引き離して
Using her bow gun and Templar sword, she was able to separate me from you and prevent me from doing you any harm.
そして
And then, aw, fuck. Damn. And then she gave him a hug in the end. Oh no.
俺は姉さんの腕の中にいた。
When I returned to my senses, I was in her arms, dumbfounded.
体を無数にうがたれながら姉さんは 俺をしっかり抱きしめて、
Her body was full of holes all over, but she hugged me as tightly as she could.
そのままこと切れてた。
That's when she drew her last breath. No, oh man.
まあそういうことや。
There it is, the truth you
俺
wanted.
はルフィナ姉さんを助けられなかったんやない。
It wasn't that I couldn't save Rufina.
この俺が
I was the one who killed her
お前の目の前にいるこのろくでもない疫病神が
with my own hands,
お前
right
の
in
姉
front
さ
of
ん
you.
を殺したんや。
でも
But
ケビンは
but you didn't.
殺すつもりがなかった。そんなのはただの言い訳や。
I didn't want to. Maybe not, but that's just an excuse.
あの時の俺は精魂の力に翻弄されて血と暴力に酔いしれていた。
If I had been able to control my stigma's power instead of letting it consume me and fill me with bloodlust, it wouldn't have happened.
俺の心が弱くなかったらこんなことにはならんかったやろ。
If I wasn't so weak, she'd still be alive today.
ケビン
それにな、
That's not all, either.
俺はな、あの時姉さんが自分の母親のように見えてたんや。
Looking at her standing before me at that moment, she reminded me of my mother.
俺の首を絞めてきた。あの時の母ちゃんと同じように。
She reminded me of Mom when she came to strangle me. I don't understand.
そして裏切られた腹いせを込めてマスを叩き込んでやった。
Suddenly, this feeling of betrayal welled up inside me, this desire for revenge, so I filled her full of spears.
どっちも大好きで俺の手で守りたかったのに。
I loved them both. I wanted to protect them both.
母ちゃんとルフィナ姉さんをまとめて殺したも同然や。
And what did I do? I killed them both. Me.
どうして
Why? Why did you... Why did I what?
どうして黙ってたの？
Why didn't you tell me this before?
この5年間私に一言も話さないで。
5 years apart and this is the first time you're telling me this?
ああ、ほんま悪いと思ってる。
Sorry, I know I should have done it earlier.
でも話したからには俺にも覚悟はできてるわ。
But now I have and I'm ready for the consequences.
お前にやったら仇を撃たれても本望やし。
So go on, if you want to avenge her, do it. If anything, it'd make me happy if you did.
バカ！
You're so stupid.
おい、
Aw. What are you?
ふざけないでケビン・グラハム。
You think I want to avenge her?
私が怒っているのはそんなことじゃない。
That's not why I'm angry at all.
どうしてなんでそんな重たいものを抱えて一人ぼっちで生きてきたの？
Why have you shouldered a burden that great all this time all on your own?
私にあなたの家族のこの私に
We're family, Kevin.
一言も相談しないで一緒に抱えさせもしないで。
Why didn't you ever talk to me? Why didn't you ever let me hug you? Why didn't you let me do anything to help you?
お姉さん、
Reese,
リース、
やっとわかった。
I finally understand.
ケビンがどうして下方狩りをしているのか。
I always thought you were hunting down heretics as some kind of atonement for letting Rufina die.
姉様を死なせてしまった償いのためじゃなかったんだね。
But that's not it at all, is it? Come on, Reese.
もう私にはわかる。
I finally understand.
償いのためなんかじゃない。
You don't want to atone for anything.
罪悪感を消すためでもない。
You don't want to get rid of your sense of guilt at
ケ
all.
ビンは
You...
その通り。罰を受けたがっているのさ。
That's right. He wants to be punished for what he did. The Lord of Phantasma appeared. Oh,
影の
the Lord of Phantasma.
ふーん、あれが
So that's what they look like. Uh-huh.
よくぞここまで来た。
Yeah, my congratulations on making it this
こ
far.
こより先は第7星層。
Beyond here lies the seventh plane.
私が生まれた場所にして全ての星層の礎となる場所さ。
The place of my birth and the foundation of all planes hereafter.
やはりそうか。
Thought so.
その地に通じるのがこの場所であるという意味。
And judging by how we have to go through here to get there,
どうやら俺の確信は
I was right.
間
Wasn't
違い
I?
なかったみたい。
Right about what?
それでは改めて問うとしようか。
Allow me to ask you once again.
どうかな、ケビン・グラハム。
So, Kevin Graham,
そなたは本当に私の素顔を知りたいのかな。
do you really want to see the face underneath this mask? Is it the Jaeger that he fought that day?
言うまでもない。
Damn right I do.
とっととその悪趣味な仮面を外してもらおうか。
It's time to take that creepy mask thing and show us who you really are.
影の王。いや、ルフィナ・アルジェント。
Okay, so I slick really thought it was Rufina Argent. So I slick thought it was Rufina for a bit, right? But I was like, nah. Oh Lord, here we go.
いいだろ
With pleasure.
姉様。
Rufina,
久しぶりね、リース。
I've missed you dearly, Reese.
そしてケビン。よく私の正体を見破ったわね。
And as for you, Kevin, I'm impressed you were able to work out my real identity.
いや、答えは最初から明らかやった。
It wasn't hard. I had a feeling from the start. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was Rufina, but then I was just like, that's too cruel. But I was like, at least let it be the Jaeger or something. Like, let Rufina rest under those circumstances. But that's just too cruel.
思わせぶりな言動、そして挑発的なセリフの数々。
The answer was right in front of my face the whole time, and your every taunt should have made me that much more sure.
今まで確信できんかったんは、俺が気づきたくなかったからや。
The only reason I couldn't be until now is because I didn't want to accept the truth.
そうね。あなたは昔から弱虫だから。
Quite, you always were a weakling.
まさか私の最強の騎士を倒してしまうとは思わなかった。
You can imagine how surprised I was when you were able to defeat my strongest knight.
黒騎士。いや、検定のことか。
You talking about the Blade Lord?
一体姉さんとどんなつながりがあるんや。
What connection does he even have to you anyway?
6年ほど前、ある事件で知り合ったのよ。
I met him through my work, about 6 years ago.
私と彼は対立していたけれど、お互い納得のいく形での落としどころにまで持っていけた。
We were enemies at the time, but we managed to reach a compromise of sorts.
それを彼は借りを作ったと受け取っていたみたいね。
And he felt he owed me a debt for as much.
なるほど。その借りをうまいこと利用して、検定という概念を蘇らせたんか。
Alright, so you ended up summoning him in order to have him repay it.
まったく、姉さんらしい裏技やで。
It's a crafty move, but that's not so out of character for you.
褒めても何も出ないわよ。
Flattery won't get you anywhere with me.
ここまでたどり着いた以上、私の目的は分かっているのでしょ？
Still, now that you've made it this far, I assume you understand what I'm trying to do.
ああ、覚悟はできている。
Yeah, and I'm ready.
連れて行くんなら、とっとと連れて行ってくれ。
Take me away.
待って。
Wait,
何を。二人とも何を言ってるの。
what are you two talking about?
リス。
あなたも分かったのでしょ？
I would have thought you worked out the answer to that already, Reese.
ケビンはね、罰を受けたがっているのよ。
Do you recall what I said before? Kevin wants to be punished.
もしかして姉様。
Then you...
そう。私はケビンに罰を与えるために、この地に生み出された存在。
I was born here in order to give him the punishment he strives for with his every breath.
そのために私は、この影の国を作り変え、 あなたたち全員を迎え入れた。
It was to that end that I recreated Phantasma into its current form and welcomed all of you here.
それもこれもすべて望んだのはケビン自身なの。
All of this was a result of Kevin's desires. He wanted this to happen.
嘘。
You're lying.
残念やけどその通りや。
Sorry, she isn't.
なぜそうなってしまったのかはっきりとは分からへんけど、
I couldn't tell you why it all actually happened.
姉さんが言ってることが真実であることは間違いな
What she
い。
says is true.
そんな。
No.
おそらく第七聖層とはこの俺を罰し続けるための地。
The seventh plane is likely somewhere made for the express purpose of punishing me over and over.
母親を見殺しにし姉さんをこの手で殺めてしまった俺にふさわしい場所のはずや。
A fitting hell for someone who let his own mother die and killed Rufina to suffer and rot.
そして俺さえそこに落ちればこの事件は無事解決するやろ。
And once I'm dropped down there, this'll all be over.
おいおい、本気でそう思ってんのかよ。
What the hell is wrong with you?
確かに筋は通ってるけど、
I mean, I suppose it makes sense,
何には理解できないわね。
but I still can't understand why.
リース
Reese?
どうしたのリース。
What do you think you're doing, Reese?
姉さんに向かって
That's
そ
not
ん
a
な
very
追い
nice thing
倒
to
す
do
る
to
な
your
んて。
sister.